Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Naomi Osaka vs. Coco Gauff tips, predict. Naomi Osaka continues her US Open campaign with a marquee fourth-round showdown against third seed Coco Gauff at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Both are former champions in New York, but only one will take a step closer to another US Open title run. Each player has already been tested in the first week, with Osaka required to grit her teeth to come through a three-set battle with 15th seed Daria Kasatkina, and Gauff surviving a second-round wobble against Donna Vekic. The American's serving problems moved her to tears in that match, as an eighth double fault enabled Vekic to break back at 4-4 in the first set. However, the 2023 US Open champion made light work of her third-round opponent Magdalena Frech, earning a 6-3, 6-1 victory in 1 hour and 13 minutes. Osaka, twice a champion at Flushing Meadows in 2018 and 2020, has shown flashes of her best form through the opening rounds as she seeks a first Grand Slam quarterfinal berth in over 4 years. And if she were to reach the last 8, her record of never having lost a Grand Slam match beyond the 4th round should instill plenty of confidence. This will be the 6th career meeting for these rivals, who are 1-1 at Grand Slam level, with Gauff having won 4 of the last 5 meetings to lead the head-to-head 3-2. Naomi Osaka vs. Coco Gauff tip summary. Best bet, Naomi Osaka to win 2-1 at October 3rd. Alternative bet, over 22.5 total games at October 11th. Bet builder, Osaka to win 2-1. Osaka to serve the most aces and 5+ double faults for Gauff at 7-1. Naomi Osaka vs. Coco Gauff prediction. Best bet, Naomi Osaka to win 2-1 at 3-1. Osaka's serve is clicking, her forehand is firing, and her confidence is growing with each match. The 4-time major winner's return to form has been one of the stories of the tournament. Her aggressive baseline play and improved movement have helped her overcome 3 solid opponents with relative ease, although there was a minor hiccup against Kasatkina. However, she came out of the blocks quickly against the Australian to win the first set 6-0 and hit 37 winners in total. Gauff admitted to having a kind of panic attack during her second round win over Vekic as she continues to battle herself on serve. No player in the WTA's top 50 has served more double faults than Gauff, who has the highest double fault ratio and one of the lowest percentages of points won on second serve in the top echelons of women's tennis. Gauff's defensive skills and court coverage will test Osaka's patience, but the Japanese star has the weapons to break through. She's won 78% of first serve points at Flushing Meadows this year, compared to Gauff's 67%. Coming into the match as the underdog could also suit Osaka, but she will need to handle the potentially partisan crowd better than she did in the recent Montreal final against Canadian heroine Victoria Mboko. Expect Gauff to find ways to push her, but Osaka's power and poise should see her through in 3. Alternative bet, over 22.5 total games at October 11th. Only one of their 5 previous meetings has gone to a third set, but that was probably the most relevant meeting in Cincinnati 4 years ago. Osaka came back from a set and a breakdown on the back of a superior serving performance to win 6-4 in the third. The Japanese ace's last match featured a deciding set, while Gauff has been involved in long rallies and tight games. The average number of games in the Americans' first 3 rounds is 24, which indicates this one could be equally epic, with both likely to win a set and push each other deep into the third. Over 22.5 games looks a smart play. Naomi Osaka vs. Coco Gauff bet builder tip. Naomi Osaka to win 2-1. Naomi Osaka will serve the most aces, 5+ double faults for Coco Gauff. Pays 7/1. Osaka served 11 aces to Gauff's 8 in that Cincinnati meeting a few years ago, and the Japanese player has continued to churn out more cheap points on serve than her younger rival. Osaka's ace percentage, 9%, on the WTA Tour is almost double that of Gauff, 4.7%, and it looks worthwhile backing the 23rd seed to win the ace battle on Monday. Gauff's double fault issues are well documented, and she took the drastic measure of replacing a couple of coaches in her setup with a biomechanics expert on the eve of the US Open. She still served 18 doubles across her first 2 matches in New York, and, although that number came down to 4 against Freck, the added pressure on a match like this could see her service action break down again. Learn more about how bet builders work in our Bet Builder Guide. Key match stats. Osaka has served 20 aces and 5 double faults at this year's U.S. Open. Gauff has served 7 aces and 22 double faults at Flushing Meadows. Gauff has 1 more return points on first serve, 68, than Osaka in her first 3 rounds. Osaka has 1 more second serve return points, 65, than Gauff, 56. Gauff leads the head-to-head 3-2. Osaka is playing her first Slam 4th round match since 2021. Read more tennis betting tips and predictions on site. View the full market and more odds for Naomi Osaka versus Coco Gauff on site. This article was written by a partner sports writer via Spotlight Sports Group. All odds displayed on this page were correct at the time of writing and are subject to withdrawal or change at any time. Discover more from Bet365. Tie-ins and Bet Builder. Naomi Osaka versus Coco Gauff. Tips, predictions, and the story of a rivalry in the making. The tennis world has always thrived on rivalries. From Martina Navratilova versus Chris Evert to Serena Williams versus Venus Williams, from Roger Federer versus Rafael Nadal to Novak Djokovic versus everyone else, rivalries have defined eras. They give us context, drama, and a reason to watch beyond the simple scoreline. In the women's game, one of the most tantalizing possible rivalries of this generation is Naomi Osaka versus Coco Gauff. Though the two have only clashed a handful of times on the professional stage, each meeting has carried the weight of something larger. The passing of torches, the collision of different generations, and the clash of different styles. Both women stand at critical junctures in their careers. Osaka returning to the tour after motherhood and a hiatus. Gauff ascending into the prime years of her career with a Grand Slam title under her belt. So, when we talk about Osaka versus Gauff, we aren't just previewing a match. We're talking about the stories that swirl around them, the tactical chess that could unfold, the mental battles that will rage just as fiercely as the rallies. And most importantly, we're asking, who wins and why? A match of contrasts. Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff couldn't be more different in their approaches to tennis. Osaka is power, precision, and calm intensity. Gauff is speed, defense, and explosive athleticism combined with a developing all-court game. Naomi Osaka is, when fully locked in, one of the best hard-court players in history. Her serve is a weapon, her forehand is devastating, and her ability to flatten shots at pace is unmatched. She thrives in quick points, dictating with her serve and first-strike tennis. The key for her is rhythm. If she's landing her first serves and controlling her baseline game, few players can live with her pace. Coco Gauff, by contrast, is the ultimate modern retriever with added flair. Her defensive skills, foot speed, and anticipation allow her to extend rallies, drawing errors and frustrating opponents. But she's not just defense anymore. Since working with coaches who have sharpened her forehand and bolstered her confidence in attacking play, Gauff has developed into a versatile threat. Her serve can bring free points, and her willingness to step inside the baseline has made her far more dangerous than the purely defensive player of her early years. This clash, then, is a battle of rhythm versus disruption. Osaka wants clean strikes, short points, and control. Gauff wants chaos, movement, and attrition. Whoever drags the match into their preferred territory usually wins. Historical context. The story of Osaka versus Gauff begins in 2019 at the U.S. Open. Osaka, the defending champion, played a teenage Gauff who was just 15 years old. The match was decisive. Osaka won 6-3, 6-0. But what everyone remembers is the aftermath. Gauff, emotional after the loss, was invited by Osaka to share the post-match interview, creating one of the most touching moments in modern tennis. It was a rare display of sportsmanship and empathy, showing that this rivalry would be rooted in mutual respect. They've since met multiple times, trading blows. Gauff has grown into a top-tier player, and Osaka has battled through personal struggles and time away from the game. Now, their meetings carry a different weight. A fully matured Gauff against a motivated Osaka hungry to prove herself again. Key tactical battles. If you want to watch Osaka versus Gauff like a coach or seasoned tennis analyst, here are the matchups to pay attention to. 1. The Osaka serve versus Gauff's return. Osaka's serve, when firing, is arguably the most lethal on the women's tour, but Gauff's return game is exceptional, particularly on second serves. If Gauff can neutralize the first serve just enough to get rally started, she can flip the script. Conversely, if Osaka dominates with aces and unreturned serves, Gauff may struggle to find rhythm. 2. Gauff's forehand under pressure. This has been the shot most criticized in Gauff's arsenal, though it has improved significantly. Osaka will test it relentlessly, hammering forehands cross-court to force errors. If Gauff can hold steady, absorb the pace, and counter effectively, she keeps herself in the match. 3. Osaka's movement versus Gauff's defense. One weakness in Osaka's game has historically been her lateral movement, particularly when she's dragged wide into long rallies. Gauff excels at moving opponents and forcing extra balls. Expect her to use her backhand cross-court to stretch Osaka, then redirect down the line when the opportunity comes. 4. Mental fortitude. Osaka's return to tennis is still about rebuilding confidence. Gauff, meanwhile, has become one of the mentally toughest players on tour, thriving under pressure. If the match gets tight, Gauff's belief may tip the scales, unless Osaka rediscovers that championship aura she once carried so naturally. Tips for watching the match like a pro. Look at the serve percentages. If Osaka is serving above 65% on first serves, she's in command. Anything below 55%, and Gauff has an opening. Watch the rally length. Osaka prefers rallies under 4 shots. Gauff thrives when points stretch to 7+ shots. Whoever dictates rally length controls the match. Notice the court position. Gauff stepping inside the baseline is a sign she's confident. Osaka retreating behind the baseline is a red flag for her chances. Pay attention to Osaka's body language. She's often transparent, shoulders slumping, head down when frustrated. A positive Osaka is dangerous, a withdrawn one is vulnerable. Look at Gauff's forehand choices. Is she guiding the ball or swinging freely? Her willingness to attack tells you if she's in the right frame of mind. Predictions. Now comes the hardest part, predicting the outcome. If Osaka wins, it will be because she dominates with her serve and forehand. The match will be relatively short, under 2 hours, with Osaka keeping rallies brief and striking clean winners. Gauff's defensive scrambling won't be enough to offset the sheer firepower. Osaka will also need to stay mentally engaged, not giving away patches of errors. Scoreline prediction in this scenario. Osaka wins 6-4, 6-3. If Gauff wins, it will be because she survives the first strike barrage and drags Osaka into longer rallies. She will exploit Osaka's rustiness, force movement, and capitalize on unforced errors. The crowd will likely back Gauff, giving her energy in the big moments. Her forehand will hold up just enough, and her speed will frustrate Osaka into overhitting. Scoreline prediction in this scenario. Gauff wins 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. The likely scenario. Given current form, fitness, and momentum, Gauff may have a slight edge. Osaka is still rediscovering her best level after time away, while Gauff has been steadily climbing, adding confidence and weapons to her already elite defense. Expect Osaka to have brilliant flashes, but Gauff's consistency may prove decisive over 3 sets. Final prediction. Coco Gauff in 3 tight sets. The bigger picture. Regardless of who wins, this matchup matters far beyond the scoreline. Tennis thrives when stars collide. Gauff is already becoming the face of the next generation, while Osaka remains one of the most marketable and influential athletes in the world. Their matches embody the sport's future, dynamic athletes, mental health advocates, global icons,